car number 1 here. So I'm very interested. We'll have to see how this works out. 200 miles an hour practically. Arigato. Have a good day. Today is a special day for me. I get to take my grandma's memory and bury it here in Tokyo. So she's been, I believe, to 12 countries, 13 countries now. And I have left her memory in 12 countries. And then all over, everywhere else we've been. So I got 200 coins made. And I think I'm down to about 50 after giving some to the family. I sent everybody several coins each, but today she will be buried in Tokyo. Someday, 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now, people are going to be finding my grandma's coins all over the world. I'm wondering why this special lady was buried everywhere, and she meant everything to me. My best friend, my savior sometimes, so many times. I miss her. Because I'm a little bit on the under-financed side, I'm pretty much just taking the cheap way around everywhere. So today I'm walking down to this lake by Mount Fuji. I'm not going to be able to pronounce the name. So Mount Fuji is about 4 miles, 6 miles from here, somewhere in that range. And this lake is where I'm going to bury my grandmother's memoir. I've got a coin that I made. It's like a little memorial coin, gold-plated coin that I buried in 13 countries in multiple U.S. states and multiple U.S. territories. So, as a tribute to her, I love her so much, I'm going to make sure she's properly honored. Show you. Alright, so this is what I came for. This is the Grand Front Osaka Tower, and this is where this artificial intelligence and robotics conference is. So I traveled, I guess, about 4,000 miles to get here. Well, more than that since I've traveled across Japan. So about 4,500 miles to get here. And I only have one day of the 3, but I'm going to enjoy it. It's only a couple hours. I'm gonna, shake some hands, meet some people, check out some tech, see how it goes. city. Breathtaking. So now we go to the castle. Slopes and shapes and perfect angles. It's just amazing. Castle gates. We don't know if there's a fee for the castle, but we will find out. So that cost 1,500 yen for 20 minutes, as I understand it. Now, I don't read Japanese, but I saw 1,500 yen. So I think that's 20 minutes for 1,500 yen. You basically just go around the boat, which is pretty cool. I'm happy enough to see other people enjoying it and filming it. There's another turtle. He's getting out of the way. This is Hiroshima Station. Another monument to architecture and innovation and productivity. Very orderly, very productivity oriented. Japan is awesome. So, about this AI thing, I went to a conference here in Japan, in Osaka, about artificial intelligence on the 12th, a couple of days ago. And my purpose really was to kind of echo what I've been saying for years and what Elon Musk has recently said. We need to self-regulate AI. We need to put humans first and not profits in this regard, because AI is very dangerous. Now, Elon Musk said that AI is more of a threat to humanity than nuclear war. And if you think about it, it really is, because when AI improves so much, and the rate of improvement is so fast, that humans become obsolete, we'll either be pets or parasites to the AI. I mean, they're going to supersede our ability, and they're going to require less sustainability to continue. I mean, humans are pretty fragile. AI will improve so fast that it will not be nearly as fragile as humanity. And so I just echoed my main and only question. I got to ask one. It was only a 2-hour session, and there was a lot of other questions, but I just asked, what in regards to self-regulation and self-preservation are we incorporating into AI? And I've been into AI and automation, robotics for over a decade. And so I'm, very concerned about it. I made my first video about this threat, this potential threat in 2016. And now I've seen the rate of improvement grow so fast that I'm more concerned than ever. I'm as concerned as Elon Musk. I'm actually terrified for humanity if we don't self-regulate. And we can't have a bureaucracy regulate for us. There's just no way, because it's already open source. It would be like cannabis. It'd be like weed. They could put laws against it, but there'd be a black market. There would be, people developing it anyway. So it scares me that AI will be the future of sentient life on Earth, and that we will either be pets or parasites in their eyes. So, and this goes back to the abortion topic as well, because when we start devaluing human life, when we start rationalizing wholesale murder of humanity and saying, well, these groups of humans matter and these groups of humans don't, kind of like the Nazis did when they started practicing eugenics in the 30s and 40s. When we start saying, well, these human lives are important because they're born, but these human lives are not important because they're not born. And that's exactly what eugenics was. Just rationalizing what humans were important and what humans were not important. So I had a friend confront me because I've been talking a lot about this. There was a Harvard study that the findings were, the summary was that humans in the womb have just as many constitutional rights as humans outside of the womb. And this is very important because this is what it all comes down to. Are unborn humans human life? And do they deserve constitutional rights and protections? And if so, then if we can call the murdering, the killing of unborn babies abortion, and that's just okay because it's abortion and not murder, well, what makes that different? If they're humans with every constitutional right that I have or you have in the United States or in other countries, then what is different between a pre-birth abortion and an after-birth abortion? I mean, you might as well just call murder abortion, because, say your neighbor's annoying and you want to off him, and you just call it abortion, and that, terminology makes it okay, well then, we have no regard for human life at that point. And so, not only is AI sort of a threat, it will be more of a threat. And then, if we look at time more linearly, like in, the future is only based on distance, but it's, currently happening. Like it's, in effect, what we do now will affect our future. It's linear. It is like, it is a threat. AI is a threat to humanity. We can't look at it any other way. But in that same regard, we are a threat to humanity when we can negotiate what a quality life is, or what a life worth preserving is, versus a life that is not worth preserving, And so someone was telling me that, you're not pro-choice because you believe in mandating women to have their babies, and that you want laws against abortion. I've never said that I've wanted laws against abortion. Never. In fact, I even believe in some forms of abortion. I've always supported the Plan B and estrogen shots. That just puts the responsibility on a quicker timeline. Like, you've got 3 or 4 days tops to decide. You can't wait till the 8th month or the 5th month or the 3rd month. You have to decide quickly, do I want this baby or do I not? It's all about responsibility. You look at places, like Asia. There's very few single parents in Asia. In Japan, I'm in Japan right now. Because they require their people, as a cultural expectation, not even as a legal expectation, but as a cultural expectation, they require their people to be responsible. Now, they do have a lot of abortions here, but they have very few single parents. You don't see a lot of single mothers walking around, right? It's because they require responsibility. You've got to think before you act. And I would say that's, that should be a cultural expectation. You should be required to really consider your actions before you do them, whether it be sex, whether it be whatever, and know that there's consequences for our actions. And I think that would deter a lot of abortions. When it comes down to like late term or afterbirth abortions, I mean, it's disgusting, because at that point the baby's got a fully functional brain, fully functional heart. At 23 weeks, it's a human that's capable of living outside of the mother. It might need a little bit of life support, but of course any baby would. Like, if you have a perfectly healthy 9-month-along baby, full-term 40-week baby, it's going to need your life support. You can't just expect it to live on its own, right? But a 23-week-old baby can be born, can live outside of the mother with some life support and be a fully functional, healthy human being. So I see no difference, like, especially at that late on, Like, there's no need to suck out a baby's brain or chop it into bits in the womb to abort it. There's so many other ways. I mentioned too the estrogen shots and the Plan B. There's during sex contraception. There's pre-sex contraception, like the pill, the Depo-Provera, the IUD, whatever. But then there's, condoms, the sponge, there's spermicide, there's other things. And then there's after sex contraception, like the Plan B and estrogen. There's no need, we're not in the dark ages anymore. This isn't medieval times. A coat hanger or an abortion suction tube or a scalpel or whatever they use to chop up a baby in the womb, forceps really, they just rip it apart, isn't necessary. We're not in the dark ages anymore. We need to start holding people accountable, and that's my only point. When I talk about these topics, it's not to get the government involved. I mean, sure, I'd be happy to see Roe versus Wade disappear, so there's not a, wholesale, killing license available to doctors. I think that's wrong. I think that's immoral. But I'm not talking about, putting women in prison for having abortions. That's not at all what I'm talking about. I've never said that. I'm just saying we need to be more responsible. This whole, hippie love, whatever, feminist movement in the 60s, I don't need no man, I'm gonna have sex with 50 guys and have 5 baby daddies and 25 abortions. That kind of thing needs to stop. That's irresponsible, it's immoral, and we're losing our sanctity of life, our respect for humanity. We need to stop that. That's all I'm saying. So this is where I am in Hiroshima, right by the baseball stadium. A Mazda Zoom Zoom. It is actually a really cool city. I went to the Eon Mall. The Eon Mall here is like, it's crazy. It's so big. I got the kids some gifts there. Turned out really well. I like this place. At first it seemed kind of empty, but today I'm really enjoying Hiroshima. So when you flush this toilet, it runs the water through the top of this faucet so you can wash your hands, and it fills the tank below. It's really kind of clever, actually. It's like a dual jet propulsion bidet. It's kind of odd. It's really cool the way that it flushes on the flush. The tank, which is covered. Water saving indeed. Well, I am in Hakodate. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. In Hokkaido district of Japan. When you have a realization about yourself that is real powerful. I mean, I'm not just sitting here looking for meaning any more than I usually am, but when you realize that you're afraid of intimacy with strangers, like so deeply, like I can chat with anybody and I've got a lot to talk about and I really enjoy, hearing people's stories. But when you're intimate with people that you've just met and it's just a really positive thing and it breaks you from your comfort zone and you realize, you're broken inside a little bit, like that's me tonight. I just ate dinner with a wonderful Japanese couple, an older couple that has a restaurant here, and a fellow named Richard from China. It was really a special occasion. We had venison on a wok on a grill. It wasn't a wok, it was like an inverse wok. It was a really cute little grill that they set at my table, and then I cooked it. And they taught me how, what to do and, how to get it right, and had a bunch of vegetables, and I mean, it was just it was a different experience. Like, You know, not just dining like you would do in the States. You know, I mean, it's so beyond just like a dining or like a teppanyaki restaurant. I mean, this was just really cute. And at the end, they asked me to draw a picture of where I'm from and, you know, write something down. And I mean, it was just a really interesting experience. Dining here is really special. Like, dining here is not just eating, you know. It's like, for me, what I've experienced, it's been such an intimate thing. And I told my wife today that I would just love to live here. I would just love to live here. I mean, despite the cannabis is illegal, and I really depend on it for pain, I would just give that up. I would, just to live here for a couple of years or a decade maybe. I mean, I could just see myself and my family really enjoying, oh my gosh, this place is just, everything about it. Everything about it. The order, it's so orderly. Everybody works for the common good. Everybody's got this goal in mind to make Japan special. Like, it's not just, you know, surviving here. It's not just getting through your day. It seems like people go out of their way to make Japan special. For the sake of making it special. For no other sake but that. And just to be really, you know, intimate with their surroundings. And you know, whether it be a foreigner, whether it be their, you know, neighbor, they're very intimate. It's not what you experience in the States. It's not even what you experience in Europe. I mean, Europe has that in some ways too, but here, it broke my heart. Like, I realized I'm broken. Like, I really felt like I was broken. Like, I'm not able to connect to people, you know, in a special way. Like, I've got that barrier. I put up my walls so high. And, you know, I'm always looking, you know, like, for whatever it is that, you know, will fill that hole in my heart that maybe I'm missing. And I guess that's why I travel so much and why I enjoy it so much. And I do try to talk with people. I do really enjoy conversation and people. And I love to hear their stories. I love to, you know, tell them my story. I don't know, I found it here. I found something that I've not found anywhere else here in Japan tonight. I'll post pictures of the meal I had. It was so special. I mean, it was so special. It was called the Genghis Khan venison plate, and it was just so special. It was so special. I got a picture with the older couple that fed me and spent some time with me. We did not speak the same language, you know, verbally, but they were just sweet, sweet people. I will be coming back here. So I've been talking about how Japan teaches responsibility and accountability to their people a lot more than the West does. And I'm not just talking about the United States, I'm talking about other Western countries like the UK and, European countries as well. I mean, even Mexico does a better job than the USA does as far as teaching responsibility. You look at their social welfare benefits in Mexico as far as what they give to their people for welfare and child care and housing and all that. I mean, it's a fraction of a percent per capita of what we actually spend. But here in Japan, I mean, you look at this street. Last night I was here, there was a big celebration, there was lots of parades, and it was just awesome. Lots of people. And today, as you can see, there's no garbage cans. Like, the city doesn't provide a way to throw away the garbage. People just hold on to their garbage and wait till they get back to their hotel or their house or their car or whatever, and they throw it away themselves. They don't depend on the government to provide a method because they teach responsibility and accountability. This is why they have only 2% of homes that are single mothers or single parents. Is because, people that get together stay together because they believe in their responsibility and accountability. So, I mean, this is, it goes all the way through in every aspect of their country. I'm so proud of this place. I would love to live here. But what I see is people teaching responsibility and accountability. The streets are clean. Like I say, the city provides no garbage cans. People just clean up. They're responsible. And in the United States, people just don't give a shit. And they just throw their garbage and, expect the city street cleaners to pick it up. And it's disgusting. It's embarrassing, to see what this is, compared to the United States. I'm embarrassed to be a part of the United States because we are not accountable. We're not responsible. And they are here. I mean, there's a little trash here and there, but you would expect a lot more, because they have no garbage cans. Like, the city doesn't do that for people. So people are just responsible. They take care of their own business. And I just love that. The abortion rates are less than half per capita of what we have in the United States. The single parent rates are like 1,600% less. In the United States, single parents make up 31% of homes, of homes with children. So single mothers, basically, I mean, there's a few single fathers, but I mean, single mothers make up, 31% of families. And in Japan, it's only 2%. 2% of families are single-parent homes. So, I mean, it's just a difference of responsibility and accountability. I'm really impressed with Japan. If I could live here, if I could, get a residency, I would, because I just love this. I'm absolutely impressed with everything about this culture. Cold, cloudy cloudy day today. Oh, I've not seen that before. There's a Ferris wheel. Wish the kids were here. I don't know what that is up there. A Buddhist temple, a mosque, observatory, something up there. Alright honey, this is the way we need to do coins here. So I just typed it out. It's almost even. It's close. Close enough. And then I'm going to press start here. It's going to take the coin. Cute little coin from Sapporo's television station, or television tower. And it says disruptarian.com. Ooh, it actually lined it up perfectly. I thought there would be a unevenness, but it actually fixed itself. Oh, that's perfect. So that's from up here at the TV tower. This was built in 1963, and it's really cute. I think it's like 1,480 meters is where I'm at on the tower. I could be wrong, but I think it's 1,480. So this is my one and only souvenir. I had to get this. They're super cute. Of course, I love coins. It's how I roll. So you just get it out of the vending machine. It's 500 yen for like $4.80, and then it's 100 yen to get it printed. You end up with this. This is the capsule hotel. It's actually really clever. It's really well ran. Slightly inconvenient in some ways, but really well ran. Stuff. I have no idea what all this says, but today this is my locker. I've been to more Irish pubs in Japan than I've been to in Ireland, and they make a good Guinness. They got the head right, everything was perfect. last trip out of Japan on the train. It's going to Chitose Airport. I love these trains. I know a couple little girls who would probably enjoy this store. The Happy Flight shop. The Hello Kitty Happy Flight shop. Pretty cool. Alright, this is what I got for Father's Day from my wonderful kids and wife. I missed it. I was in Japan on the 16th wondering. And this on the back says, "Not all who wander are lost." And it has our Thompson name. And then it has all of our family's name. Ryan, Kimberly, Constance, Jenny, IRL, and Amelie. And this is the coolest compass. I love it. Love it, love it. Am I wrong? I thought north was the other way. I don't know. I guess I've been wrong the whole time. I always point in a different direction. So now I'll know the direction. Sweet.